I'm April, and I'm going to be your new Thursday mommy. I'm so excited to be a part of this collab channel and to be a part of this community of amazing moms, and I'm so excited to start making videos for you guys. So I'm just going to get right into it. This week's topic is not necessarily one that is close to my heart. I'm not a big pro daycare type of person. This week's topic is about how to choose the right daycare for your family. And honestly, it's not something that I would ever choose to do in our situation. That's my own personal opinion, and so that's my little disclaimer at the beginning here is that like the advice that I'm going to give is not firsthand, and it's not anything that I endorse, but I know that every family is different, and I do support every mom in their educated decisions. I'm pro-educated choice. I think if you are well researched in what you're deciding, and if you've looked into both sides and you feel like that is the right decision for your family, then I'm all for it, I'm going to do my best here to give you guys some advice and help you guys make that choice. Anyway, so the first thing that I would look into is the area, because not all neighborhoods are created equally, as I'm sure you all know. I know right where we live, you can be driving through suburbia and you make one wrong turn and you're in like straight ghetto, like shootings every other house. There's somebody, in a fight, or, the cops are getting called every 5 minutes, and then you turn another corner and you're back to like the ritzy, really nice part of town. So, really research the area, and if you're new to the area, ask around. Like, word of mouth is probably one of your best resources when you're new somewhere. So once you've found a good area, I would get on Google, and I love Google. But I would get online and I would look up as many different options as you can find in that area, because options are going to be your best friend. You don't want to have to settle, so you want to be able to find the right fit, and you're not going to just find that just picking one at randomly and dropping your kid off. You want to go visit these places so that you can feel really good about your decision. So I would get, maybe 5-6 different places, maybe a couple in-home daycares, maybe interview a nanny, and then go to a couple daycare centers. That way you can kind of get a feel for like what's going to be right for your child and for your situation. Once you do have a list of potential child care centers, I would, of course, if it's an in-home daycare or a nanny service, you're going to have to make an appointment. So I would schedule an appointment to go visit these places. Definitely bring your child with you, because you want to see, especially if your child is a little bit older, like toddler age, where they're playing and interacting with other kids, you want to see how they feed off their environment and how they're going to how they interact with the teachers and the other kids, and, what kind of stimulation they're able to find in that space, and then you can kind of get a feel for which is going to be best. So definitely bring your kids with you to every appointment. And if you're going to a daycare center, don't even make an appointment. I definitely wouldn't. I just drop in unannounced, because these are open to the public, and you want to be able to see what's really going on. Sometimes I think when you especially when someone's trying to sell you something, which, sorry, they are, they're trying to get your business, they're going to put their best face forward when you're there. And so I would definitely not make an appointment for a daycare center. I just drop in and see how crazy it is. If it's like really chaotic and out of control and everyone's crying, I would probably not choose that one, but you want to just walk in and ask, say, I'm looking for a daycare center for my child, and introduce the child and see how they interact with them. They should be good with kids. It's kind of a given. The child should feel welcome and calm and happy there. And so first impressions are everything, even for children. So, and if your child is of the age where they're able to talk, when you leave, ask your kid, like, what did you like about it? Did you feel happy there? If you've been to a couple by now, ask them, which one did you like better? It is going to be a process if you really want to do this right. And think about how much time your kid is going to be spending at daycare. And I know personally, I was sent to daycare a lot when I was a kid, and I remember hating it. And you don't want your kid to hate where they're going to be every day and just be miserable, so really, like, take their opinion into consideration, because it does matter. You're not going to be the one there, especially if they're a little bit older, toddler, preschool age. You want them to be happy, or at least I would. So I would, definitely ask their opinion on it. I would make a list of things that are important to you. And some of the things that I would ask about would be the price, obviously, because like I said, you are probably not, in a position to just throw money around. So I would ask the price and what's included in the price. Do they take field trips? Are there arts and crafts every day, that they're supplying the art supplies for? Are meals included? If meals are included, I would ask, what's their philosophy on nutrition? If your child has special needs or allergies, how would they handle that? If you're vegetarian like we are, I would ask, how they would handle that situation. Are the kids going to be eating chicken nuggets and, hamburgers every day? Do they have an alternative menu for vegan, vegetarian children? Another thing I would ask about is cloth diapering, because like I said, some centers are really good about it and they will work with you, especially lately. Cloth diapering is becoming more popular. But a lot of places just don't want to deal with it at all. And so I would definitely, if that's something that's important to you, you don't want to not mention it and send your kid with all their fuzzy buns, to daycare, to the center, and have them come home in a pamper. I'd be pretty upset, especially if you really strongly are against disposable diapers, which I know a lot of people in this community are, which is why I mention it. So definitely talk to them about that. I would definitely ask about the educational aspect of their day, how much of their time is going to be spent learning, because the most crucial learning period in a person's life is from birth to 5 years. So especially if you're going to be working. What, honey? What I was saying is I would definitely look into what kind of educational and stimulating activities are going to be offered to your child. When you go to the daycare center, you want to look around at, is there a variety of different engaging activities for your child to choose from? It's not school, and so it doesn't have to be completely structured, even though there should be some structured circle time and outdoor playtime and games and stuff like that. It's not school, so you don't have to look for desks and things like that. Obviously, I'm sure most of you have been to a daycare center before, but a lot of their day should be free play. Some of their day should be free play, and so you want to make sure there's puzzles and books and places to do art and room to run around and play, and sorry, I'm looking at my notes. You don't want to see a TV. I definitely would never send my kid to a daycare center that thought it was okay to turn TV on for hours on end during the day. Another thing to think about with state funded daycare centers is that they do have to be licensed, and they do have people who drop in and will score them and will rate the daycare, and if they've done anything that is not acceptable, they will write them up. And there are websites. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to look up the links to these websites, but there are places online, and you can probably ask your child care resource and referral center in your town. You just need to Google that. For the website to those for your particular center that you're looking at, because if any of the teachers have done anything inappropriate or whatever, they'll be written up, and you can definitely go online and see what they've been written up for and things like that. I would look at how clean the facility is, cleanliness, how often diapers are changed and hands are washed and things like that would be something that I would really want to know, and I would ask other parents that question as well. Do you feel like your children have been cared for while here? Another thing that I would really strongly suggest you look into is the security at the place. It shouldn't just be like a free-for-all. Anybody can come in and visit or pick up your child. You definitely want to see that they have some sort of like signing in and signing out procedure, rules for who can pick up your child, who is able to come and see the child. Especially, I know a lot of families have, issues with certain people in your family or people who, may cause problems for you. That's something that you might want to look into. And also, a lot of places have security guards and might be gated and things like that. So those would be positives in my book. And also, if you're looking at an in-home daycare, do not be afraid to ask for a background check on this person that is wanting to watch your child. For sure, they should be more than willing to give you any information that you need. You might want to ask how much training the teachers have, if they've how much experience they have with children, and if they've been through any type of schooling or things like that for the job. I would look into that. Something else I would want to know is if you're breastfeeding and you're planning on pumping and bringing in the milk for your child, how they're planning to facilitate that for you. I would want to see where the milk would be kept. I would want to make sure that it was labeled properly and that they had a system in place for that, because not to scare anybody, but I've heard some stories. There was a story on the news not even that long ago about a daycare center where one of the workers gave the child someone else's breast milk, which is not a huge deal if the person is, like-minded in their lifestyle as you are, but you can get diseases that way. Your child can, develop a taste for that milk if they're getting that all day long, if it's a consistent mistake, and it can hinder breastfeeding at home. Also, you can, it's just not good. I would be mad if that happened to me. So definitely make sure they have a system in place for that. Also, if they have, if they would let you drop in whenever you want, they should never have a problem with you coming ever. You should never have to call ahead to see your child. You should be able to drop in at any time, and you should be able to feed your baby. They shouldn't have a problem with breastfeeding. I would also ask about their attendance policy. Some places will charge you per semester or per every 12 weeks or whatever, and it doesn't matter if your kid doesn't ever go, you still have to pay. That's how most places are, but other places do pay by the hour or charge by the hour. And so I would just ask, just up front, just so you know what you're getting into. I would also ask their philosophy on discipline and how they handle difficult situations. You should definitely never hear a in-home daycare or nanny say that they agree with spanking. Even if you do, no one else should ever spank your child. I don't believe in spanking at all personally, but I know some people, that's how they think, that's how they handle discipline. Even if that is the case, that's your place, not theirs. And I don't even agree with that, but I'm not going to get into that here. But I'm just saying, like, you want to know that they have like some sort of healthy discipline in order, like timeouts or whatever they do. Just ask about their discipline policy, because you don't want to not ask and then something happen that is, that you don't agree with, and you be mad and potentially have gone against what you believe as a parent. And finally, just make sure that your the environment is safe and clean and friendly and happy. And a lot of this is going to be gut instinct. You're the mom. You have amazing maternal instincts. Tap into them. Listen to that little voice inside of you, because it's usually right. And your first impression is usually right. So don't if you don't feel comfortable somewhere, don't try to talk yourself into it. Go with your gut instinct, because this is an important decision. And I just wish you guys all the best of luck. And I hope that helps someone. Like I said, this is not firsthand experience. It's just stuff that I thought of. I sat down and wrote down a bunch of things that I could think of. So sorry if it wasn't helpful, but hopefully it was. And thank you guys so much for inviting me to be a part of this channel. I'm having fun already. So I hope that you guys are all doing well, and I love all of you guys, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye-bye.